We've had the protests at Epping, haven't we? About that hotel. Apparently there's an Ethiopian guy. I thought he was like 41, but they said in the coverage I read yesterday, it was like 37, I think. He apparently, allegedly, came on to a 14-year-old girl and tried to kiss her, and the locals obviously took a very dim view of that. And ever since that happened, they've been protesting. They've been hanging around outside this hotel, and all of your favourite mediums of tedium have been going down there. Going down there to try to get a temperature check of what the protests are feeling like. What are the two tribes feeling like? What are the chances, guys? Put your finger up in the air. What are the chances of some riots down here? Anybody want some riots? Because it's the summer holidays now, right? Almost in August. Summer race riots. Tradition is tradition. We've got the cameras here and everything. Don't let us down.
And actually, we are at tipping point.
Can I just say, when you're doing it, if you're watching this, I have no time for the people that are attacking that police van and throwing bricks.
The country, it seems to me, and I don't say this with any joy at all, is really at kind of breaking point, isn't it?
I mean, the UK media, over the last week or 10 days, the UK media have been little more than... Like, do you remember when you were at school and there was always that one guy, that one kid who would whisper stuff to two other kids and try to start some shit, you know? He'd be like, "Oi, Aid, come here, shh, Aid. Oi, Timmy over there just called you a cunt. I'm not sure I would take that." That's what they're all like for the last week or 10 days. Is they're just begging for the summer unrest, aren't they? Anyway, I thought maybe it might be good to take a quick look at some of this coverage tonight. So if you would like to join me, saddle up now as we should have a name for this segment, shouldn't we? Like, where we're the sort of unofficial watch of the rubbish that they're putting out. You get the idea. But yes, join me now. Let's take a look at how some of the right-wing media have been covering this, shall we?
Protesters gathered near the Bell Hotel in Epping Forest in Essex, where, of course, a migrant staying at a local asylum hotel has been charged with an alleged sexual offence against a local schoolgirl.
I mean, it feels a bit obvious to point out here that these are the same people who want us to look the other way when the discussion is about Donald Trump definitely being in the Epstein files, right? So tacitly, implicitly, possibly, allegedly, he's fucked some underage trafficked children.
An alleged sexual offence against a local schoolgirl.
Computer, find me some evidence of Ben Leo being concerned about Trump being on the Epstein list.
And these are the same people who don't like... They don't want us to look at that. Like, they're very MAGA. They're very Trump happy over at GB News. But if it's an Ethiopian guy, if it's an asylum seeker and an underage girl, then it's a problem. That's what I'm gleaning.
An alleged sexual offence against a local schoolgirl.
You know, it's a bit like the fruit picker debate, isn't it? We don't need no foreign paedophiles over in Epping. We should have our very own great British nonce-burgers.
Concerned locals down there today, there they are on your screen, they want the hotel shut down, and they include worried mums and dads who fear for their kids' safety.
Right.
Police condemn mindless thuggery during latest migrant hole demonstration.
But counter-protesters from Stand Up to Racism turned up today and said they were there to make their voices heard against alleged far-right groups who they say first organised the protests.
Okay.
The groups were kept apart today by police and fencers, and this was the scene from the side of the protesters who want the hotel shut down. I thought the choice of flags on display gave the best kind of idea what kind of people frequented which groups.
Always with the flags, isn't it?
A distinct difference here between the two sides is if you look at the flags, you've got England flags, Union Jacks, you've got ladies in flags draped around them, lots of patriotism, and then on the flip side...
I mean, I'm not really sure what point he's trying to make here. Like, they are all wearing flags, and like St George's Cross, Union Jack, just in case you're you're listening to this on Spotify or whatever. and you've forgotten what real patriots look like. But I feel like he's just said a minute ago that these are just concerned parents.
And they include worried mums and dads who fear for their kids' safety.
They're not there out of nationalism or a far-right ideology or even patriotism. They're just there out of concern for their women and girls, aren't they? So what does the flag have to do with anything?
If you spin over there, a stark contrast, you've got trans flags.
Oh, no. Equality, respect, fairness. Yeah, that sounds awful.
Anyway, we then decided to make our way to the counter-protest pen used by Stand Up to Racism. That's where things got a little bit more frosty.
OK, we managed to get inside the pen. The police let us in with our press passes. Let's speak to this guy here.
I mean, sometimes it's weird to think that GB News even have, like, press passes. That might be an interesting area of inquiry. It's like, if you get 3, 4, 5 Ofcom investigations into you broadcasting disinformation, damaging, inaccurate or biased political commentary, at what point, like, do you reach a sort of number of fines from Ofcom and then you are no longer recognised as a sort of press outlet and you can't have press passes? You know, because I would say, like, what is the point of letting them in to the other side to interview people from the other camp with their other flags? What is the point of allowing them in there with their press badges when it's so obvious that they're not going to give them a fair hearing, that they're not there to present a fair and balanced picture of the events that are taking place that day? Do you know what I mean?
Excuse me. Hi. I liked your sign. You want a quick chat? What does your sign say, sir? Tear down borders. It says tear down borders. Hi, guys.
Excuse me. Oh. Goes to the other side with his press pass. You know, he's obviously goading, isn't he? He's prodding the bear. He's like, oh, I like your sign. What does it say? Open the borders. Oh, okay. Could I talk to you for a minute? Could I just get your thoughts and feelings? Like, he's scoffing, isn't he? And then some girl in the background there shouts like, GB News are fascists. Get the fuck out of here.
Hi, guys.
Which you might think is a bit strong. You know, a lot of people, whenever you say the F word, these people are fascists, they get a bit funny about it. They're like, oh, come on, settle down. Settle down with the hyperbole. But, you know, when the Tories were rolling out the protest bill, criminalising your right to protest, if you exhibited a style of protest that was anything more than noisy and annoying, GB News were right there defending it, weren't they? Promoting it. You know, GB News loved Donald Trump, rounding up the immigrants. I would say Donald Trump is comfortably in fascism territory now. So yeah, maybe this is the appropriate response. I don't know.
It's right that the families of this little village actually fight for it.
At the moment, it's a local thing for local people.
I mean, this is the problem right here, isn't it? There is this sort of narrative being put out that this is just concerned locals. GB News have done it, now Newsnight are doing it.
No, I mean, obviously it's been really concerning scenes in Epping in recent weeks, and I understand local frustrations completely.
Which are basically local people furious.
You know, it's just a mum and a dad who don't want their 14-year-old girl snogged or molested at the bus stop, as this asylum seeker allegedly did to a local girl. But it is a matter of record now. Like, other journalists who, this is going to shock you, sit outside of the realms of GB News, other journalists have ascertained, established that these protests are, at best, being derailed by, and at worst, coordinated by, far-right groups like Homeland and Patriotic Alternative. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those two. Homeland is supposedly, reportedly, it's a separate group that broke off of Patriotic Alternative. But yeah, I've got an independent article in front of me here. It says the protests in Epping are coordinated and advertised on a private Facebook page called Epping Says No. Its administrators include members of a group that calls itself Homeland, founded 2 years ago by a cohort that split from the neo-Nazi organisation Patriotic Alternative. Homeland has been described as the largest fascist group in the United Kingdom. And then it goes further. It says members of other groups, including former neo-Nazi terror group Combat 18. What does that mean? Does that mean they're no longer neo-Nazi? They've seen the light? You know, now they've gone down to nationalists. They used to be neo-Nazis. Now they've taken it down a notch. You know, they've cooled down a bit. I mean, they're still cunts. They're still nationalist, xenophobic, but they're not full-blown neo-Nazis any longer. It says members of other groups, including former neo-Nazi terror group Combat 18, the British National Party, and the Patriots of Britain have also all been spotted at these demonstrations. So, like, it's just not accurate to suggest that these are just concerned locals with, quote, legitimate concerns.
Do you understand those emotions?
I understand families who are deeply upset by what's happened.
Still, you know, at least we've had about a week of unrest, protesting, shouting, riot vans and stuff down there. I don't think it could get much worse, could it?
When you say it's a powder keg, what do you worry about? What could happen?
My concerns are for next week or this week if Tommy Robinson turns up.
Well, yes, actually, that's a good point. Probably don't want Tommy Two Names rocking up, do you?
What's your message to Tommy Robinson and his supporters?
Keep away, not welcome here in Epping Forest.
So, I'm sitting here now thinking about Epping, which has been entirely local-led.
Worried mums and dads.
I understand families who are
I
deeply
understand
upset.
local frustrations.
Local people furious.
Concerned locals.
Concerned locals.
Which has been entirely local-led. And I've had people contacting me to come. And I've said yesterday I'm going to come. I think it may not benefit me to come. I don't know if it benefits the local people of Epping and what they're trying to do for me to be there on Sunday.
Oh, okay. All right. Good stuff. That's quite a mature response, isn't it? For Tommy Robinson to actually sort of hold his hands up and go like, maybe I'm not needed down that way. Maybe it wouldn't be helpful for me to spread my football firm 80s street fighting influence in this most volatile of situations. Maybe he's growing up a little bit. Maybe he's grown out of all of the violence stuff. I don't know. What do you reckon?
The far-right activist Tommy Robinson has fled the UK after an alleged assault at London's St Pancras station. The former jailbird was seen on film this morning.
Maybe not then. All right, let's just have a quick look at one more clip from GB News, and then we'll move on, shall we? What's this guy saying?
Good evening, Michelle. It's raining here in Epping, in Essex, but that's not deterred.
Oh man, what is going on with that reverb? Turn the volume down in your ear. It stops the echo, guys. You're supposed to be professional.
In Essex, but that's not deterred these.
Wait a minute, did he just say that's not the turd?
Protesters from coming out. By my count, a few hundred have arrived at the Bell Hotel today to gather as part of this protest, and they're here because they don't think that migrant hotel should be in the area. Now,
I mean, just look at who is marching there. Number one, they're all fighting age males, aren't they? You know, they're either like 19-year-olds in hoodies and trackies, or they're angry middle-aged guys, or there's some other group of men, all draped in St George's flags. And, I mean, look, if I had a cause that I was marching for, that I was protesting for, you know, let's say, for argument's sake, it was something to do with child safety, keeping my kids safe. If that was my cause I was getting behind that day, that afternoon, and then as I was marching down the road, I sort of stopped and I looked around, and every single one of the other marchers was also a mid-40s angry white man. And if we were all like draped in St George's Cross flags, even though it had seemingly nothing to do with child safety, if my cohorts and colleagues and fellow cretins marching along with me had banners like Patriotic Alternative and deport all of the immigrants, or like no more asylum, or whatever, If that was who I was marching with, I think if it was me and I wasn't a racist, if I wasn't a fascist, I think that would give me pause. I think I would stop. I'd be like, hang on a second. Hang on. Have I become a fascist by accident?
Now, there has been a lot of concern raised by some reporting that has been saying that the far right are involved in this protest or even organising it.
Again, it's not just concern, it's not just reporting, this is a matter of fact. This is what real journalists do, GB News, is they uncover internet, social groups on Telegram, on Facebook, they see where these things are being promoted from and by whom. It is a matter of fact, of record, that Patriotic Alternative and Homeland and representatives thereof have been pictured riling up the crowds at this protest.
But I have to say, I've been here for 4 hours. I've not met any fascists or neo-Nazis.
Like, I love the logic. He's just, he's a white guy. He's a white guy in his 30s, I guess.
I've not met any fascists.
Stood there with a GB News logo round his microphone. Like, nobody seemed like a violent fucking fascist to me.
Or even any sort of racist whatsoever. These are local people.
It's like, well, no, of course not. Why don't you dye your skin brown, put a backpack and an anorak on, and then go and hang out in the Bell Hotel car park? See how neighbourly and legitimate concerns everybody is then. I haven't met any fascists.
I've not met any fascists.
No, because generally, fascists don't have to be fascistic to other fucking fascists.
I've not met any fascists.
Well, they didn't string me up and throw me in the gulags. No, they probably bought you drinks, you dumb fuck.
Bye, guys.
Concerned about the arrival of unvetted men, some 140 according to local reports, into their area.
I mean, I know that car horn beeping is supposed to be it's like a person driving by who agrees with the protest, like somebody's holding up a thing that says honk if you think we should send the asylum seekers back. Like, I know that's what it's supposed to be, but I've got to say, I really love the idea that driver is actually just somebody like me that's just like, oh my god, this country is fucked, I can't take it anymore. Bang. just slumped on his own steering wheel. That's what I like to imagine that is, Gives me a bit more faith, a bit more hope in the country. Shall we move on? Let's not spend the whole episode talking about this nonsense. Let's move on, guys.
Just another video with